that wouldn't be a male privilege that he doesn't get custody.
Why do you think I'm saying male privilege or female privilege? I'm saying objectively in the court of law, they favor women, and that's a negative a lot of the time for men who want to participate in parenting. I think women are looked at as mothers in society, and that's not necessarily always true and not necessarily always fair.
And men are looked at as wallets. And providers and disposable.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry that's been your experience. I'm not saying one is worse than the other or one's untrue.
But you said something, I'm trying to get back to the original point. You said something about single stay-at-home fathers.
Yeah.
What was your argument?
I was just stating that there are less stay-at-home fathers, as well as the failure of our career system that does not allow a lot of men to take.
That's because of a mating pressure that women put on men, not because there's that's entirely a mating pressure that women impose on men. We went around this table. All of you said the guy has to make this much money. He has to pay for the first date, blah, blah, blah. That's a mating pressure you impose.
I mean, I've dated people from multiple different... I think it's difficult to argue that, oh, well, this has nothing to do with this, and this is the only reason that this is aligned, and this is the only problem. Like, none of us are arguing that men don't have problems in dating. I'm not saying that it's ethical that men are expected to be providers, but when you create a system in which there is a historical aspect where women were meant to provide children and essentially sex to men, a man provides his own service. That is his service of taking care of his family.
That system, what's wrong with that system? That's a good system. We need women to provide children. Nobody else can provide children except women.
We're in overpopulation.
Actually,
already.
We're not. We are approaching population decline rapidly around the globe.
We're in decline across the board. Not only are we in decline across the board, but if you look at some of the Asian nations like South Korea, for instance, it's not even 1-to-1 for replacement. If you look at Japan, right now, they're about to have a crisis where they have more elderly people than they have young people to take care of the elderly people.
The 50 most powerful countries in the world actually cannot replace their current population.
So my question becomes this to you, right? My question becomes, why is this a bad system? Why do you think that it's bad that women are moved by society to stay at home and take care of their children? Why do you think that that's bad? That seems to be the most efficient system. Could you even think of a better system? Tell me, if you could come up with your dream system, what would it even be other than that?
My dream system, I can't wait to have children. I love children. Personally, it's never been a question for me. I can't wait to have children. I love children. I work with kids a bunch, and I think it's such a great blessing, motherhood. Not that everyone needs it, but for me personally. So I'm not at all anti-children, but I'm just I personally would love to have a family and have that dynamic.
So you actually can't think of a better system than that?
In my ideal world, I would love to have a partner who would go true 50-50 with me on caring for the children, as well as working as much as I work. Obviously,
if he's working, if you had the ideal system, wouldn't your ideal system actually be that you could spend all of your time with your children while your husband worked?
Because I would like the equal sacrifice in my relationship where I love children. I can't wait to be a mother, but I don't need to be the sole provider of my children for 24 hours a day. I would love to have a partnership where they are more than willing to help me, feed, take care of the children if I need a day.
But how's that equal if he's working?
Because I could work as well. There's so many different ways.
So this brings us back to the original question then. Is your time better spent working, or is your time better spent at home with your children, not outsourcing their care to somebody else while you're working? For instance, let's say you had a baby, little Samantha. Do you think that little Samantha wants to go and get taken care of by some Venezuelan immigrant while you go work all day? Do you think that that's preferable?
I had an au pair growing up. She was a Haitian au pair, and she was one of the most beautiful, amazing women, and I never felt like it took away from my experience with my mother.
You preferred that over your mom?
I never felt like it took away from my experience with my mother.
That's not what I asked you. Did you prefer it over your own mother?
Probably.
Really? You preferred that this
my mother? Not every woman is a great mother. Not every woman can be a great mother. Not every man can be a great father. And I think the family system.
So outsource your kids.
You don't have
That's
to.
That's your big plan.
If I am in a position in which I can adjust work hours or take time off of work or make sure my schedule aligns, or take off work until my children are in school and only work during school hours, etc. I find that to be not a problem at all.
Andrew, can you center?
I understand what you're saying, but let me give it back to you one more time. Why do you think it would be preferable if you had the option to stay at home to outsource your mothering to a stranger of your children? How, in what world does that make sense?
I'm not saying that I would have to do it to a stranger of my children. Everyone has different relationship dynamics, different financial statuses, you know. Maybe I have my parents are able to help take care, or my sister, which is a very natural part of human.
Or maybe nobody. Or maybe the daycare, right?
Or
don't you think it's preferable for women
I would never
to avoid the daycare?
If you want to ask the question and you want my answer, do you want me to answer?
Well, your answers are really long-winded.
Okay, fine. I will do short and sweet. I will do short and sweet. Yeah. I want to love my children in every way that I can, and I want to be an amazing mother. And I think if I spend my entire time losing my identity as an individual and only seeing myself as a mother, I will not be able to provide.
What do you mean only? Wait, what could possibly be more important than being a mother? There's nothing you could ever do in your life that's more important.
So for a man, it's more important for him to be a father.
Name one thing you could do that's more important than being a mother.
God, being a good one.
That makes no That makes no sense.
That makes sense.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. What?
That makes complete sense.
Also, I might be misunderstanding the conversation, but also...
Wait, hang on. I just want to make sure I got this right. What's more important than being a mother? Okay, being a good mother. Okay, great. What's more important than being a good mother?
Nothing. And
nothing. Being a good mother,
I will take every step in my life to assure that I can be a good mother, whether that's working, whether that's maybe
by
needing a
outsourcing
nanny.
it to the Venezuelan immigrant. Yeah, your daycare.
What's wrong with a Venezuelan immigrant? Maybe she lives at home with me and she's an amazing woman.
I mean, do you consider yourself, is his name Andrew? Mm-hmm. Andrew, do you consider yourself like a traditional person? Like, would you say that a traditional mindset?
No, I don't consider myself trad or what is considered to be trad in modernity at all. I never have. I don't think we should go back to the 1950s or any of this nonsense. What I'm saying specifically, though, is this, that there is no better system that any of you can name than the nuclear family for the backbone of society. That's going to require stay-at-home mothers. There's nothing else that's better than that. We see the population declining. It's falling off like a rock. And so when I ask, what is it that's more important than being a good mother at home, none of you are going to be able to say that that's not the most important job. And yet, for some reason, women seem to want to outsource that job to other people, even though it's theirs. Husband can work, take care of you, you stay home. No, I have aspiring dreams that surmount being a mother when there's nothing else you could do that's more important than that.